What's up, my
Hey,
brother?
we live, man. We live, man. Reminisce Show. You know what I'm
Reminisce.
saying? Connecting the past, present, and the future, man. Always keeping it connected back to the motherland. Always keeping it Afrocentric, man. No matter how far we are, man, we always still connected. And here we are, live in the flesh. I was thinking the other day, man, like as we are like, physical manifestation, we are, like the legacy of all those who like came before us. Like that's such like a deep understanding and just such a privilege and honor. You know what I mean? Like just like the chain of events that have led for you to exist.
That's
It's
real.
deep,
That
man.
is so real. It is an honor. It is an honor, and it's an honor, a duty, and a privilege. And yo, you're so right. Um,
That's it, man.
yo,
Gotta give thanks always.
what's your full name? If
My
like,
full name?
yeah, my full name is Adhimu Shabazz Lateef Stewart. And it wasn't until I actually just a couple days ago finally found out my father's middle name. This was the first time ever in my life. And
Interesting.
I didn't know until like probably when I was 8 or 9 years old that the power of having Shabazz in my name and like just how relevant that is to African
Wow.
history. And I'm like, oh yo, I'm really glad my parents named me that. Like, or just put Shabazz in my name. And
That was very intentional.
very intentional. Yes. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, no, my full name is Neil Michael Roland Donaldson. So my middle name is Michael was my godfather, and Roland is my grandfather's name.
Dope. Oh, that's
So
pure legacy.
so I got me some intentional in that case. Donaldson is that's our slave name. That connects back to like Scotland. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So,
my last name is Stewart, so it does my slave
oh,
name
there
back
you
to
go.
Scotland as well.
Yo, man, but you're absolutely right. There is power in names, and it's cool that like I like the fact that you have like Shabazz there, man. Like your parents knew something, they were just like in tune. They just wanted to like instill that energy, you
Absolutely.
know.
Yeah, my parents were very pro-black Jamaicans in the 70s, incredibly
Mm,
pro-black. To be honest, to the point where some people said they were surprised that my mom actually married a Scottish guy in 1985 when my little brother. I will murder for my
right,
little brother. Oh my goodness, he's my half little brother, but that's family blood. I don't care. And
absolutely.
my Scottish
Blood.
stepfather, he was wonderful. He was great.
Mm,
Like my mom and him were great at the time, but my mom was so pro-black. A lot of people were like, "What? She married a Scottish guy? What?" So,
mm,
well, it's just love. Like the world that like it doesn't matter where you are in the world. Like there's
yeah,
anti-black racism, and there could be subversive people of any culture to be like, "Yo, we ain't gonna feed
so
into that
true,
shit." White,
so
Asian,
true.
Aboriginal, y'all
Mm.
be like, "I love you because you're black and a good human." Period.
No, that's real. That's real. Like you said, like did you grow up in a religious household as well? Because I grew up in a Jamaican household, but Jamaican religious, and I think that's a specific lane as well.
Yeah, that I didn't grow up in a religious household. My mom was Rasta, but my mom's sister was Pentecostal Christian. So it was
Oh,
weird. Like on the weekends I was put into a very Christian household, and then
right.
to the point where my head was fucked up for many years, and I still have like terror fears of my aunt dragging me to church when I'm like, I don't like this place. Straight up.
Or
But what was it like for you having a Jamaican religious
yeah.
house?
Well, we grew up like, 7-day Adventists. So, there was a lot of, I mean, for me, like, I look at like the positives of what I took away from it. And a lot of it was really like discipline, structure. Um, there was a saying like in the household growing up that was like, being in the world, but not of the world. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And just knowing that like the things that we're into, like, like essentially like don't get too attached to things. You know what I mean? Sure, like, you can dabble, you can just, be passing through or whatever, but just know that these are not like who you are. They may be part of your experiences, but they're not who you are kind of mentality. So there was definitely like a lot of takeaways, and there's obviously a lot of stuff I didn't get answered to. I had a lot of questions about Jesus and you know, like the Virgin Mary and all these different things or whatever, but which I, you know, had to go to other schools of thought to like really, you know, learn about that. But you know, like the experience, like, you know, there was a lot of restriction, you know, because we were Seventh-day Adventists, so we went to church on Saturday, you know, so we followed like, you know, like from sunset to sunset, like Friday night to Saturday night. So it was different and really like, you know, this really strict. Like we weren't even like Pentecostal. Pentecostal is more exciting, you know, the lively with the music and speaking in tongues and doing all that. Seventh-day Adventist is not like that. It's like super old school, like the organ, like the songs we're singing are like basically Negro spirituals. You know what I mean? It's like it's a really deep experience, but it made me question more and then made me want to seek more of the truth. And I do feel my upbringing has like a significant I guess like motive. That's like why I do the work that I do now, you know, for sure. So there's definitely a connection. But we have our special guest in our green room.
All right.
Waiting patiently, man. You know what I mean? So like without further ado, man, we're gonna continue the conversation from last week with Mr. Standout. You know, one of my like favorite peoples in Toronto. You know what I mean? Like he's just I mean, anyone who's had the pleasure to meet him all just know that he's someone who wants to see people shine. You know what I mean? He loves connecting people and just trying to figure out how he can support, how could he add on and enhance a situation? How can he make something better? You know what I mean? You know, because every now and then he'll call me up and be like, yo, you got to connect with so-and-so, you got to connect this. As a matter of fact, just the other day, like he connected me with an artist named Fame Holiday. Like I never heard of him since, you know, then he like reached out to me, started checking out the music. And it turns out that he was actually doing like a song that's, you know, to kind of like highlight and celebrate like Black resilience and, you know, some of the violence and things that's been happening in the community. You know, he wanted to like, you know, have a song that highlighted this. So he did a video on Saturday and invited me out to come out to it. So I did my little cameo in there and you know, just connecting with good peoples, you know what I mean? I was like, it's great to come across amazing artists, but it's even better when you come across like just great people, you know, and Fame Holiday was one of those guys. And I knew that if I'm all like co-signed, then I know it's gonna be someone good, man. So the biggest of that, but we're gonna get some more insights, man, with Amol and his experiences in the scene. You know, he's been alongside of like people like Kanye West, like Drake, Tory Lanez. I saw some photos with him with Maya, P. Diddy, Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj. I mean, the list literally goes endlessly on. Like, I'm pretty sure he's forgotten a lot of the people that he's met. But no further ado, man. We're gonna bring him up in this. Let's see what we got here, man. Yes, Mr. Standout.
Yo, Mr. Standout, what up, big brother?
What up, guys? Let me know if it's working.
Yeah, no, we hear you, man. This guy got his headset, microphone. He ain't playing this time, man. Like,
wow.
We got you, man. We got you, man.
Is it?
You're not a gamer. You're not a gamer, are you? Do you play video games? Is that
I
a
used
thing?
to be. Long time ago.
Oh,
I can't lie. This headset from at least 15 years, 10 years at least.
Yo,
hey, man. Well,
I'm just glad it's working this time, right?
Oh,
the mic is working. You
the
guys
mic is working. You're good, man. You're good to go, man. You're plugged in.
Yeah, I guess I finally figured it out.
Yeah, it's all good. In the words of motion, you gotta use what you got to get what you want. So yeah, man, it's popping.
Cool.
15-year-old headphones, they still work.
That's what's up, man.
That's cool, man. I didn't know you were a gamer like that.
I figure out how to do the IG live now. So if you guys want to go on the IG live, you can do that too at the exact same time. Here, watch. Hold on. I'm gonna jump in it right now.
There we go. This guy knows how to cross promote on the platforms.
So then let's try to go live with. Hold on, let me just type in one of y'all. Hold on. Okay. Hopefully we can do more.
Logik.
Let me know if you're getting it. Logix on your phone.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can plug this in, man. Let me see what we got here.
You see on your phone?
Oh, okay.
You got it? There we go.
I don't know how this is gonna work with the sound though, man. Might get some feedback though.
It should be fine.
Oh man, I don't know if it
can be. Yeah.
Is it a little bit of feedback?
Yeah, but the feedback's kind of crazy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, don't worry, man. We'll figure out a way to repost this on the IG, man, for those who want to tune in. I don't know if we can do this, man, but
well, man.
We have to cancel it. But go ahead, man. Go ahead, Bender.
Yeah, Amol, man. Yeah. So we were just actually one of the big things that happened in the last little while. Unfortunately, I don't know if you saw, but the mod club got shut down.
Yeah.
So did you hear about that?
Yeah, no, I did. I saw it right away.
Yeah, exactly. For real. So a couple of us were just reminiscing on shows that we saw there, and then so one of the things I wanted to ask you is, kind of simple question, but like one of your maybe favorite venues in the city where you've had a lot of good memories happen, and then maybe one of your least favorite venues in the city, if possible. I mean, it would be dope if they still exist, but if there are things that aren't here anymore, it would just fit into the vibe. But just, I don't know. I know I have a couple of favorite spots to watch concerts and stuff, but I just wanted to know what because Toronto.
It was really sad to hear that about, especially about the Mod Club. That's a very historic venue that gave a lot of people their starts. You know what I'm saying? A lot of legends have been through that venue. And it's kind of funny, like when I was last there, and even like from a year ago, like they put a lot of money into renovations. They added 2 more floors. You know what I'm saying? They renovated the VIP balcony, so they had an extra more space, better viewing space. On top of that, they even added another floor, even on top that people didn't even know about, which was another green room. And then there's a rooftop, that a lot of people didn't even know about that.
Rooftop.
And so I remember I got this little tour, and they never got to fully utilize the space that they put the money into. But like just thinking about like you name it, like if you want to do a small pop-up show, that's really a great venue to do it at. If you're on the brink of like you're like an upcoming artist, just a lot of artists right before they blow up, they need that smaller venue that can hold like 500 people, 6. You can. What's good about those kind of venues that you could like, if it's a small amount of people and it could accommodate even a larger amount of people because it has a double floor, and you could like always like make it look proper from like 300 to like I think the capacity is like 800 or something like that.
But
I'm just thinking about like some amazing shows that had been there, like Logik or Mindbender. Maybe you can like we can go back through it a minute, where it's like some of the names that pop up to my head is like when The Weeknd first came. That was his first concert was at the Mod Club, and I remember that night was really, really great.
I saw Nav, like one of his first shows with that.
Yeah, we were there, Logik, me and you, Nav, and he brought up Travis Scott. Remember?
Right, exactly.
That was pretty legendary when Nav first came out, right?
There was a really dope De La Soul show there that had Cardinal Official open, and Cardinal had his celebrity face chain. I think that was one of the first times he used to rock that. But that was great.
I remember seeing Black, the singer, I think he's from like Atlanta or whatever, like performing at the Mod Club when he had like dreads or whatever, you know what I mean? So he cut his hair, so it was a while ago. I think that might have been his first Toronto show too.
Well, remember, a lot of people have been to that venue as their first Toronto show,
right?
And then they end up moving to the Docks, and then they move to ACC. I know a lot of people, they'll just go instantly from the Mod Club straight to ACC. I'm trying to think of one right now, but I remember even Post Malone was at Mod Club, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When he first came out with White Iverson, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't really a whole lot of people there, but to see his growth from like the Mod Club from that day when he had the one record, and I don't know, like maybe a couple hundred people were there, and to like him doing ACC kind of level shows, right? I'm not trying to think of I'm trying to think of some other artists right now. Even Ray has a lot of shows over there.
I totally remember one of my best pictures that I ever took with Drake was in the side of the Mod Club at a Wale show, and I think that's the only time Wale has ever been here. I haven't seen Wale come back, but that was at the Mod Club.
Wale's been to Toronto many times.
No, we seen him
I haven't seen him after that. Sorry. But yeah. But yo, that I remember that happened there. MOP was there. Hieroglyphics was there.
Yeah. Even Kalani was there. Kalani for one of her shoulder that we had, Pluto opened up for her. That was also a good show that Kalani did before she really got to that next level to do a whole own like show like at the docks and all that, at Rebel and all that stuff. Man, I'm just trying to think right now. Like they're just really too.
I feel like even just not even music. I feel like I've seen like a burlesque show there once. Like, you know what I mean? Like just.
Well, the Mock Club is really open for like really a diverse, lot of people, a lot of parties there, a lot of events there. I know a lot of promoters that do like big events there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a concert, but it's mostly known for those legendary concerts.
Yeah, but like speaking of,
I think it was called the Impulse parties, the Kink parties. I went to 2 or 3 Kink parties, and I'm pretty sure they were called Impulse. And yeah, hardcore shit went down.
But yo, like speaking of more venues, man, like I kind of want to reminisce on like Club District for a second and that whole era. And I know like we're talking to like the perfect person for that, who really has a pulse of that era. Like, you know what I mean? Like biggest up memory. Like, what were some of the venues? Like some that come to mind are like Tonic, like Systems. You know what I mean? Like what are some venues that you remember from that era?
Man, I'm just thinking about. Hold up. Did you guys see that clip I just sent you on DM?
No, I don't think I've seen that one yet.
It's actually pretty funny though if you watch it. You could watch it for like 10 seconds right now if you guys want to.
What is
that? Pretty funny. It has to relate to this.
Okay.
But basically, I think I sent it to both of y'all. But yeah, basically these two guys were just doing a little skit.
Oh, okay. I see club promoters.
Yeah, and they're just going back and forth about like the whole club industry, like different like who's better, who has more access, whatever. But the funny part is them dropping all the names of all the clubs, like the throwback club names, and I was like, it got me even thinking, it just honestly back then you had like a whole lot of clubs, you know what I'm saying? You had like the entertainment district on Richmond, and then grew up to Adelaide, obviously the back in the day club like Abyss, Jade nightclub, and Jade out way by the airport side, Dixon side. Like we had some legendary parties over there.
Wow.
Abyss had some. Man, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, like you said, Palazzo, you know what I'm saying? Palazzo, like I remember the Soca Fets, you know what I'm saying, at Palazzo. That was crazy. Or even like Club 108, all ages days. I don't know about you guys know about 108. What's the name? Shawn Mendes performed there back in the day, so he was popping. And even Fido, I think, also performed there too. But yeah,
so many.
Yeah,
like, what do you feel like?
Fluid is probably the most legendary club in the city, I would have to say.
Okay,
Fluid was very pinnacle because everybody ran through Fluid. Like Drake mentioned that in a track with Apple pulling up in a Hummer in front of Fluid.
Right. Yeah. So what do you feel like when the city was moving like this, like what that did for like culture in the city, just having these different venues and spaces, and you're saying like people are out and connecting and.
Say one more time.
No, I'm just trying to say like what do you feel like that did for like the community, for artists, just having these spaces to connect in that kind of capacity, like for that particular era.
Man, it was good because you had a lot more opportunity everywhere, and there's just so many venues. And the thing is, back then we had you know what? Obviously, like there's a lot of diversity within Toronto, so you have your pockets of like certain clubs, certain areas that was like, more this, more that. Obviously, a lot of venues like back in the day, as a promoter, you rent out the spot and just do your own parties. You don't, you're not working for the club. Sometimes you just, you have your own weeklies, your own events there, and you have a partnership with them. Like it was easier to make money back then, like that's how I did a lot of my own events. Like I rented all these clubs and did my own events, and that's the way we were doing them. But yet again, it was good because it had a lot of foot traffic. The entertainment district had a lot of foot traffic, a lot of people coming down, and it's like, okay, cool, I could go run up on this person, connect with that person, Obviously, when it comes to showcases were all over the city.
Right. Yo, that's peace, man. That's peace. Yeah, and speaking of like showcases, you know, like you mentioned some of like artists that have passed through your showcases. Like last time you mentioned like Drake performed. You had Tory Lanez. I mean, these are like some of the biggest artists today. You know what I mean? So I'm curious to know, like, if there's any other names that you can think of that passed through that you connected with on the come up.
Oh, before, like I always, like, even if it's not my own shows, I'm always going to showcases, like whoever's doing them in the city, just to see what talent is going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, just because we're talking about the Ma Club, um, what's it called? The Honey Jam. They always have a great showcase of female talent at the Ma Club all the time. You know, so like, you know, they've been doing it for a long time, and then, you know, obviously Freddie still continued doing his. I can't really think of like any other names per se that came to some of my shows that blew up. Like, you know, end of the day, we don't have those showcases like that anymore like we used to. I know that some people are still doing it. What's it called? That group called The Rise. I know they always have a lot of people.
Big up Brandel, big up Rise, man,
And then I remember, you know, you remember that thing called, what's it called, 106 in Park, or like the
Toronto,
106 in New York.
106 in York, 106 in York.
That was also, you know, they had a dope thing going on, you know. But
I think there's still an occasional battle of the producers that still goes on too. But I mean, it's not the same as 15 years ago, 10 years. Maybe it was around 20 years ago. Actually, it's around 20 years ago when I don't know if y'all know, but Toronto officially had the second biggest club district in the world after London, England.
Wow.
I think because we had it was on a per capita basis, based on like our population and how many clubs we had towards what we had, and we had really over exaggerated. We had a lot.
So many clubs. The Adelaide district, so many. But yeah. I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to throw it.
No, for sure. Like, you know, I can't even. Obviously, we have a lot of big stars now that came through the Toronto scene. You know, obviously, like Jessie Reyez, she probably did like a lot of showcases, you know, before she came up. Like she was, you know, I remember like when we had Pluto, like, remember when Pluto was like popping and he was performing, opening up for Melanie Durant on that one of the manifesto. So Jessie Reyez was like one of the opening acts on that lineup. And I look at her now, like she's a superstar, you know, like, you know, showcases always give like people a platform. And I always encourage a lot of artists, like, go on, you know, go on as many as you can. You know what I'm saying? Go do as many as you can, because you never know what could happen from one thing. You know, like a lot of people have this ego thing. Nah, I don't want to go. Y'all, they're not paying me. Like, nah, you know, it's not even about that.
Well, you know, speaking of which, because like, you know, I think what I've learned from you is that in the game, like, you know, that there's a power in just showing up and just being there. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes, like, you know, you may want to, you know, you may be tired or whatever, and just like, yo, I don't want to go to this event, but then you show up and then you get a link. You know what I mean? You get a link that you've never even met. Someone you come across someone, you're like, hey, I'm so glad I went. Like, you have any stories like that where you're just like, yo, just right place, right time?
Aaron and I do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's what Aaron and I do. They'll go to different cities, see what shows are popping, who's up and coming, because they got to find that next one before they start rising up and you know, in cloud and all that stuff, right? This is what people have to do. And, you know, like, I know, you know who does a really good showcase recently? Drew Smoothie. Shout out to Drew Smoothie. He has his a regulars bar, the Golden Hour. It's a really, really dope show that he's still doing to this date. I remember my boy used to do like something called the live show down at Vogue Supper Club. It was. That was really a dope showcases. You guys know who I'm talking about. The guy who did he had it on King Street as well. He had the live band. He always had different bands.
Yes.
You know what? His name would just slip my mind right now.
I can't remember his name right now. Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, one thing I also wanted to bring up, I'm thinking with the way that clubs are going away. I mean, whether it was the political bullshit that went down a couple years ago, or from Rob Ford, or various things that have happened, like the internet has changed things where a lot of kids, I mean, they don't need the showcases that we had before, and the major labels don't exist like they had. So a lot of kids just want to go like straight online and just find fans, which is obviously an option too. But I mean, one of the problems with that is if you don't have experience on a stage with a mic in front of a crowd, you're not really a complete musician performer. So, but I wanted to talk about one of the differences, like how have you transformed your promotion over the years, knowing that like certain showcases and certain clubs don't even really exist anymore. But I don't know if like promoter is the main thing you call yourself, but I know that's one thing that you do well. But like, how have you seen promotion change over the years with the internet?
Wow. Remember, like, it's crazy because, like, just I'm more of a guerrilla street marketing kind of guy, but then everybody got, transformed into the digital age, and it's all about digital marketing nowadays. And obviously with all these, things shutting down, like obviously with everything happening, it's all about online presence, you know what I'm saying? And this is the best time for music. This is the best time you want to release stuff, you want to promote yourself while everybody's at home. Obviously they can't see no venues right now, but this is the best time for any new artist right now to come out. Obviously there's been a lot of platforms throughout the years that help help catapult a lot of people, like Vine helped a lot of superstars come out of that, right? Like what's his name from Pickering, right? Shawn Mendes came off of that, right? So it's like just a lot of platforms out there. Obviously, it's a sad thing that all these venues are shutting down in the city, and obviously because of COVID, there's a lot of venues that are shutting down left, right, and center, and it's going to be a different landscape come next time summer if some of these places can reopen.
That's real. That's real.
And it's going to be a different game coming, 2022. That's the time that people will probably, real clubs will really open and concerts will probably be happening. My prediction is 2022. It's not happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like you have the drive-in and the social distance kind of events, but that's about it. If we're lucky, we have those events in summer. That's it.
Yeah. A lot of people mentally are not even ready for it to be in crowded places like a concert venue with the open air and everybody talking and spitting and like the spittles of whatever from everyone actually rapping and singing all the lyrics. Like we never thought about that before, but it's like you get a minor sickness maybe going to a show, barely, but no, we weren't afraid of that. But now it's a different game. But I mean, the vaccines are coming close, so like it's real to talk about the industry returning, like the new industry returning by 2022. But
yeah, no, I mean it's crazy, man. We want to definitely see how that pans out, and like what sort of like vibes of getting back to a place of what we knew as being normal. If that is even going to come back on those levels. But I'm curious to know, man. Like I've seen you have like a lot of like success and a lot of momentum, and you have like longevity. I mean, you've definitely seen promoters come and go. Artists come and go, and Standout is still standing out.
You're right. I'm still here, and even the new generation knows what time it is and who I am.
It's real.
But it's really hard to keep to still have a name to this day. I'm actually very surprised at myself too.
That's what I want to get at. Like and I'm sure. And again, like as far as I've known you, you've always been like that visionary, motivated. Like you're just always on the go. Like Mr. goes to like 7 events in one night and just like real talk. Like people, like when I say that, people think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. Like anybody who knows you knows that. You know what I mean? And,
no, for sure.
But like, has there been times where you've like second guessed things and be like, you know what? Like I'm done with this, man. Like I'm tired, and what I mean? It's just not popping as I thought before. And then for whatever reasons,
we all go through those, ups and downs in life in general, and obviously you're going to have good days and bad days. You're going to have events where you lose a lot of money and you make a lot of money. I have nights where you're making like thousands of dollars to where you're losing thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff is going to happen. It's just about getting through it and move on to the next, and just reinventing yourself. Just starting over. Just you're never starting from scratch. You're starting from experience.
Right. I like that.
So you just got to keep it moving, and obviously, entertainment is cool, but that's why I still have people don't know I have a degree. I have 2 degrees. You know what I'm saying? I went to university. I did information technology management and business. I was doing consulting. You know what I'm saying? I also did mortgages at one point. I had my mortgage license. I did insurance. You know what I'm saying? I got my insurance license. You know, I got my LLQP. I ended up doing taxes for a while. I got my license doing that. You know, I did some of that stuff, right? So even still, I had other sides things and making sure, because coming from a immigrant family who was, you know, Indian, you have to get your degrees and all that stuff. Entertainment was always a side thing, to be honest.
Right.
It just ended up becoming a full-time thing down the road after. It was like, okay, you know what? Just keep it going until you get to those levels, because everybody wants to be somewhere, right?
Right.
That's
that's what's up, man.
See, like, Mindbender, I'm pretty sure you even know that, eh?
No, man.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, but I think at the core of it is like you had like strong like values, like you know yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a certain element of being grounded in yourself and knowing that, like, you know, I'm going to trust my vision, I'm going to trust my process, and just keep it moving.
No, for sure. Like, you just have to keep moving into the day, right? And once you have something, just don't let it go. That's where, you know, like you said, it's all about consistency. You know, one day you could be here, next day you could be gone. But it's also about, you know, everybody. Sometimes people come into entertainment just to try it, to see if it's for them, because they want to just, you know, see what's good. And it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You got to have really, really thick skin. There's going to be a lot of haters. There's going to be a lot of hate. There's going to be a lot of, like, even when it comes to racism, a lot of really heavy racism in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Especially we're talking about the clubs. Like, we had delegated places for black clubs and white clubs, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Some venues didn't allow, you know, colored people to have colored black parties at those venues. We still get it to this day. Did you just hear what happened to Charlie B? He tried to do the R&B drive-in at City View, and then he had to move. It got canceled last minute because they didn't want that crowd, and they have to move it up to thing. So even till now, we're still having those discriminations. And you know, you have to just have to keep going through this. And obviously, when it comes to a lot of people, it's all about growth in life. So a lot of people will come into this, do really be successful, but then they end up starting a family. They got to think about other forms of income. They got to figure out, you know, maybe their other 9-to-5 businesses are doing well, so they'll end up doing that. Just a lot of people in the industry that a lot of people that work full time and are a DJ on the side, and they have a name brand already, and you might not even know that they have a 9-to-5, you know, or they have this, they're doing this and doing that. So, you know, you just gotta, like, just keep hustling hard, man, and just do what you gotta do to make it. In life.
So the more have multiple streams of income, you know what I mean? As an entrepreneur, you can't just have all eggs in one basket. You got to be, you know, diversifying and whatnot until things, like, you know, really start picking up, and then you can invest all that energy. But that's really what it is, because you like, oftentimes you only see that side to entrepreneurship. You know, it's like you see all the shiny stuff, but not like the hard work that goes in the back. You know.
So,
man, that's peace. Go ahead.
That's real peace, man. And so, Amol, like, I've known you for many, many years. We've been, you know, many, many parties together. But I just today learned that, you know, you're into video games a little bit, which I was too back in the day. And I
don't play video games now. I haven't played video games in, like, to be honest, in like 10 years. You know, I'm seeing all this PS5 memes, and I'm like, yo, are people really broke, like, nowadays, that you can't afford if you're a gamer, that you can't afford your own system? Like, I'll be honest, I think the last system I played was maybe the Nintendo Wii. You know, I'm so used to, like, PS1. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like the Xbox too much, but I think my favorite system was, like, PS1. Sega Genesis was great. Super Nintendo, Atari. Like, these are the games I grew up and played. Like, you know,
the major difference is the price, man. Like, systems are like 3-4 times the price nowadays. So I think like what you're talking, I think like the PS5 is like, I don't know, like $1,200 or something like that.
Yeah, but like, obviously, like, systems back then for us were like still 200 bucks, and then I think on average, they went up to like 400 or 500. But I guess if you're saying they're 1,000, like, you know, it's a lot, but it's just funny seeing all these memes from big people. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not just regular folks. I'm seeing, like, influencers, like, just like random people that you think that they have money, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can't afford to buy their own PS5.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They actually want the whole premise. They want a girl to buy it for them. They want someone to gift it to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. Oh man.
And I mean, that's so dope. Thank you for even sharing all that, because you really are a video game head, and same way here. But I'm just saying, like, I've learned that from you. I learned a few other things, some other jobs, and like the taxation stuff you do. And I just, you know, Neil and I, we always talk about future. Like, this show is about ancient past and ancient future connected to the present. So I'm just thinking, like, what is like your dream, like 10, 15 years from now? What's like one big, like, not even one, but what's like a thing you really want to accomplish? Like, I don't know, like, do you want to have like a label or a stable, or like models or whatever? Like, you know, like, what's like, even something that you don't even talk to people much about? Like, what's like in your heart is something really big to accomplish?
You know, but a lot of stuff you said, like, I already been there, done that already. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's all about reaching new heights and new levels. So like, I'm literally like, I'm getting back into the music industry, like, as of right now. You know what I'm saying? I left it for like 6 months, you know? Obviously through like some situations, you know, and obviously, you know, I had a studio. We just shut that down in September. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had a studio for 6 years, and we had a team, you know, we had our label, we had everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, now it's like, I'm starting fresh all over again. I just found a new studio that me and my team Track 5 are going to be working out of right now. And if anybody wants to, you know, understand something what we're doing, we got something coming up in a pipeline to show new artists and people what time it is. With our new studio that we have right now, we're going to make it to the point that as soon as you walk into the studio, you can record a song, do your references. You know, we have like, you know, a nice dining area, a nice space there. Like, it's going to be nice and comfortable. But the whole premise that you can walk in, record, do your music, and then right next door we have a prop house where we can shoot your music video at the exact same time. So you come in, record, and we'll do a music video for you right there on the spot. Right. So we're going to be a one-stop shop for people to come in.
All right.
Okay, look out for that, man. Track 5, man. So what's up?
Yeah. So just trust me, that stuff is going to be happening just now. Obviously, my main goal, just like, honestly, like, you know, you come into this life, it's like they say, you know, you have a date that you're born and a date that you die, but there's a dash in between that. What are you going to utilize that dash with? You know what I'm saying? It's all about leaving a legacy behind. You know what I'm saying? What is that dash representing? What does your legacy mean to you? How about your future generation and for your kids and your, you know, it's all about creating that generation wealth.
That's all that is, man.
Wealth. And obviously, there's still a lot of things I want to accomplish. I'm still young. And obviously, I don't even have a family. I'm not married. You know, I don't have any kids. And that's one of my goals in my life. Okay, you know what? I need to, like, start a family. You know, my brothers got engaged, all this stuff. So it's like, I'm the last one. Even my own niece and nephews who are younger than me are married with kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have niece and nephews who are like half my age, having like, you know, not half my age, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like 10 years, 10, 15
but it's all right
years
though, man.
Married, you know, but the thing is, that's the way it is in India, right? And a lot of people, they get married like in their mid 20s, you know, and whatever. But yeah, like, that's one of my things right there. Obviously, maybe in a couple years I'll start looking, but like I said, it's all about having that foundation. And you know, you can't build a house, you know, from like straw. You got to build it on a good, strong foundation, like on a brick house. You know, like 3 back books, like it'll just get blown down. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of families they you know, they fall apart, and it's very sad to see this cycle happening all the time in certain communities that people don't understand. Family, you know, the whole family values, you know. Regardless if you know you have a kid out of wedlock or whatever situation, you got to make it work.
Exactly.
You know? But I'm very strong about that, right? Like, you know, kids are very expensive, you know. So I want to make sure that when I do have one, that I'm ready to take care of it, and I want to give the best for them, you know.
Well, yo, man, like I'll tell you, man, you have like the right mindset, and I really love what you said. As someone who already has 2 kids and whatnot, and like,
I know you, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like saying that you want to have like a foundation and being intentional on that, and you know, laying it brick by brick. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. So don't feel like you're like, you know, behind the game or whatever. You're exactly where you need to be. Because I'll tell you this straight up. If you had like, you know, like kids and family right now, you may not have the flexibility that you have to be going to handle things or whatever. It may look very different. So don't look at it like a setback. Just look at it. You're able to do what you can do now because that may change.
But at the same time, you know, you hear those stories that, you know, when you get in those situations, it just motivation. Like I know a lot of people, you know, it helped. That's like true. I know people, their lives changed like this for the better because they had a kid. Where it's like, you know what, I got to be a better person now. I'm not working for one no more. I got my youth now. Yeah, you got to take care of your parents down the third, but like now you have someone that's relying on you.
Yeah,
and you have, and depending on you, where you got to step up. A lot of people, they'll run away and give it to somebody else. But then there's other people that step up to the plate and try to be a better man, a better mom. And you know what, I'm gonna work twice as hard. And their life changed, and they end up doing multiple amazing things. And when I see those kind of people, like amazing fathers and mothers, then I gotta applaud them. And obviously, you have the ones that go the opposite way, where the whole life end up being very destructive. And obviously, the kid kind of ruined their lives, and it's like that's very sad to hear too. Right. But you know, it can go either way, and you know, obviously. It's all about Foundation Day, and it's like some people rise to the occasion, and you know, other people need help, but we all gotta help each other.
That's it. Well, I'm sure like when your time comes, you're gonna rise to the occasion. You'll be an amazing father, and you'll have like a lot of like knowledge and life experience. You know what I mean, to understand stuff. So you'll be good to go, man. But before we wrap up, I'm curious. You know, I came across a photo online of you with Kanye West, man. Like, what was that like? You meeting Kanye? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, this was like an older photo. So this is like the old Kanye from like maybe college dropout times. It looked like it was.
Oh, yeah. I was there for. I took care of Kanye when he first came to the city. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it happened.
You took care of Kanye? What do you mean you took care of Kanye?
You know, man, just rolling with him, making sure he's in certain places. You know, like in a VIP, making sure he's good. Like I should do that, right? Make sure celebrities were good when they came to a venue. You know, make sure they got their space. You know. Obviously there might be other promoters who are booking him at the center, or maybe no one even booked him and he wants to go somewhere, you know. Like I remember like that photo. So I remember when that photo, I'll tell you when that was, because I do remember, because I gave it to X, because there's a photo of X and him as well, and Brian Barber. And this was like backstage at I think it was Circa nightclub maybe, but it was an MMVA's after party, I think in 2004.
Jeez.
It was. Right, so it's 2006, whatever college dropout year was. That's when that photo took place.
Yeah, it's about 2004, 2003, somewhere like that.
Yeah, so I just remember when MTV had that you know, they had that space.
I was there for that one. I was there for that.
Kanye West when he performed, that was insane. That's one of the best concerts ever.
Facts.
You know, Masonic Temple. And I remember my boy booked him at the Docks. Neil Forster had him at the Docks. Actually, it was a bunch of promoters came together, and they had Kanye West there, you know.
Yeah. And Dilated Peoples and John Legend opened up.
Yes.
I was there. Yeah, that was good. Yo, that was a really good show.
Yeah, but I remember that after party. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was pretty good to be, you know, to meet Kanye West and chill with him, you know, and chop it up with him, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I was, you know. I think he even performed at Circa afterwards. I don't know. You know what? It was like I said. Like I remember when that was at the MMVA's after party when that photo took place.
Okay.
Hold up. I gotta. I'm gonna just answer this one call real quick. It's my boy Izzy on the line. Izzy, what's up?
Hello.
Are you watching the live?
No. Izzy.
Yeah, son.
I need you to go to the live. You know, I'm doing the live interview right now, right? So make sure everybody goes to Facebook Live and, you know, tune in.
History's being told.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, like, you know, there's just so much. Like I said, you know, one thing I want to make sure I mention is that, you know, you as an individual and an entrepreneur, you're always trying to diversify your portfolio in terms of your investments and, you know, the time that you put into. And if people didn't know this, besides, you know, me being in the music game and, you know, entertainment and, you know, promoter, all this, stand a third, you know, because my background is tech, I have a couple of tech startup companies, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That people don't know about. Like, I did some consulting. I had a couple of tech startups in the past. I've had about 3 tech startups in the past that didn't actually work out with the team that I had at the time. A few of us came together. Like, let me see, like 1, 2, 3, like 4 different companies that I was a part of that didn't end up happening, but had a lot of potential. And obviously, if you don't get certain contract in the early stages of a company and you're your team, sometimes the team would just fizzle because, you know, sometimes you need that one big break, but sometimes you got to work really hard to get that one big break. So like I said, like right now, if you don't know, 2 startup, my partner's on Drez. You know, his Instagram is Massive Impact. He's a very inspirational person. He's always working very diligently, very, very hard. I don't know if I ever introduced you guys to him, but we and him went to university together. Another friend of mine I want to bring up real quick, my boy Dale. He's an engineer at Ryerson, and he's working at Tesla, close to Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? And he used to be a producer who I used to manage. You know what I'm saying? So he went from producing from like a lot of, he was in the cut. You know what I'm saying? And then he went straight to BlackBerry, Tesla, and whatever. But like my whole point is that me and him used to brainstorm like ideas for how to change the world and what can we do to do things. And even my boy Andres, my business partner, we did the same thing, brainstorming ideas. How can we change the world? What can we do? So, you know, over the last few years, we came up with two companies. One is called MyTurf, which is a sports bookie recreational facility system, where if you want to play any kind of sports, like say soccer or basketball, you can go on the app, find the closest field to you, and book it automatically through the app.
What?
So yeah, and it was really well. You know, we had implemented in a few places. You know, it was a really great booking system. Then we had to like pivot to make it more, you know, because it's a catch-22. You need people to fill up spaces, and you know our app is really good in doing that. Next thing is we're trying to make it more like a Google of like sports, of like a Yelp system. Fast forward, COVID times obviously hit, so we're like pivoting now.
Yeah.
So there's no more spaces to rent. You can't go play outdoor recreational sports. So even with that tech startups, I had about 4 years where we got a developer out in Croatia that made it for us, and it cost a lot of money. I can't lie to you. But I think I think it costed around $150,000 investment already into that app, right? But we're pivoting for this time where we're gonna make it into like a reservation system in real estate. So you know, stay tuned for that one. Okay. And our second app is called Sessions. Logik, I think I sent you an email about Sessions.
I see that, man. Looks proper. Yeah.
Right. And Mindbender, if you haven't heard of it, you have an iPhone, you can download it. Sessions.com. You have an iPhone, Mindbender?
I'm a Samsung dude.
Samsung, but it's all good. You can still go to the website and you can still sign up. You know, basically it's a mentorship app. So where you can learn from one another. Right?
I'm down for that, man.
And basically what we do is it's all about so for example, if we want to disrupt the education system with this app, right? And because it's not about the bricks and mortar system anymore. No one wants to go to school for 5 years and try to get a degree, and some people don't end up using it. People need to get hands-on knowledge and skill sets for the real world. And so with our app and our platform, basically, it's a mentorship app, and it's a day where if you have an expertise in a certain kind of field, let's say music, journalism, you could play the guitar, you're a coach, any athlete, any instructor, anything kind of expertise in business, creative arts, anything. You list yourself, and people can book you for your time. And it's the one-on-one system where you set a date and time. You set you set your own schedule, and someone can book you when you're available and go meet you at your place of location and sit down with you for an hour, and you teach them, and you get paid automatically through the app. You know what I'm saying? And it's very hands-on, where you can learn precisely what you want to learn from somebody who has that expertise in that field, and you have a good hour of their time. And there's different levels of people in our world that have certain kind of experts that you want to connect with. This is the best place where you can connect with experts. And where if you want to raise your consciousness and your intellectual system, you can find somebody to teach you something new, even though you're an expert in another field. And then you have all these youths that want to learn, something, they can find someone like you and book you for their time, and you could coach them and mentor them. You know what? This is, you know, and you dictate how much your time costs. Some people put $0 because they want to give their knowledge for free to the world. Other people, like, say you're like a superstar, whatever, like you're like, you know, like a Gary Vee or somebody on that kind of level. You could be like, hey, I charge $1,000 an hour for my time. If you're at a certain kind of level, you know what I'm saying? So you can range from 0 to 1,000, $150 an hour. I'll teach you how to play the piano, whatever it is, you know. But obviously, you know, you can't. You're not allowed to meet people in these kind of times right now during COVID. You can only stay within your own household.
Right.
And obviously, right now, virtual learning is where it's at. So everything is stopped to a standstill, and it's all about virtual learning. That's the new big wave right now. Is virtual learning. So we have a virtual aspect to it that we're incorporating really, really soon. And that's how we want to change the world. And I want to change the world with me and my team, man.
I like that, man.
That's the next level. So it's like, I just want to be able to change the world in certain kind of aspects of, you know, whatever I do to touch. Even if you know, if I could touch somebody and like, yo, like I still hear stories to this day. Be like, yo, Mo, I saw you growing up. Like I was 10 years old, 11, 12, 15. I looked up to you. I want to be like you. And just see them, like, somehow I inspired some people to do something with their life and change for the better. And I see them now, they're doing really well. I see a lot of big entrepreneurs nowadays that their first story was me. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that I did that. And a lot of Logik, you're a big mentor yourself, and I'm sure you're inspiring a whole lot of people, even to your own brother, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing a lot of big things, your brother, you know?
Yeah, I'm big up Ashton, man, straight up.
And it's amazing what you do for your community, Logik. So, you know, you're always mentoring like a lot of youths, and I think these people need people. They need you. And it's good what you're doing.
Well, you know, I think that's a great way to end this session, because like that connects back to like the values and like, you know, like the integrity and the purpose of why we're doing this. It's not just for fun. You know what I mean? Like we know that we're contributing to something much greater than ourselves. You know what I mean? And I think that's really one of the reasons why even us three have been connected to each other, you know, over the years in many capacities. You know what I mean? Because we always want to contribute to something much greater than ourselves. You know? So big up everybody, man. Big up everyone.
Yo, honestly, guys, I got a really dope way to wind it all together, because all of us have been doing so many things, community connected through the music and just trying to help out our people, our families, and our culture. And Amol, I was listening to every word you say, but I don't know. I got this, one of my bags of many flyers that I got over the years. And I dug in the bag and I wanted to get a really good one. Check out this. I don't know if y'all remember, but it was a mod club show, thank God. And it was I very much remember that.
I was there. I remember.
Oh my God, I remember that night.
You guys, I was there. This was a great show. Rich Kid opening up for the Freedom Fighters at Mod Club. Man, this was an amazing moment in Toronto history. So
I have footage from that night, actually. Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Between all of us, we need to like put our content somewhere together and release some of these old content.
Archives, man.
No doubt.
I got archives for days, man. You all know me.
Straight up.
I have the cassette tapes. I need to transfer. I need to digitize them.
It's.
Oh man.
You're right. You're right.
Oh, you know what? I have a shuttle. Astrological from Embassy Maccabees said to say peace.
Oh my God. Thank you. Astro.
Astro. Okay, man, that's another interview right there, man. Because y'all don't even know about Astro, man. Like now he's like a big time photographer doing incredible things, but they don't know about his lyricism, his lyrical skills. The Maccabees, when that crew came through, oh my gosh, man.
They were the illest Canadian rap groups that. Oh my God.
I just learned something today about him that I didn't know, because I remember he used to follow me on Facebook and be like, he used to look up to me and stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Me and him are really good now. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's a brother, man. Like I was just with him a couple of days ago.
Peace.
He does some pretty crazy shoots. He's a really talented photographer.
No, he is. And I know.
He's a hustler, man.
Man. Astro, I send mad love and respect.
Well, you know what? I got to send him this clip right now.
Salute, man.
Crazy. I didn't even know, because I told him I was going to be doing this live, he's busy doing a photo shoot right now. And when he said, "Yo," like, no, he saw my story and he replied, and he saw, "Yo, I know." Like, he goes, "I know you guys." I'm like, "How you know Logik and Mindbender? You're young."
That's my brother.
Let's put it this way, yo. I have to go in the archives and find it because I'm pretty sure I have footage of one of their first performances. Mindbender, you might remember, but you might know this too. Amol, the 4 Unity Festival thing that was before Manifesto. It was called the 4 Unity Festival, and it was at the AGO. And it was basically like what Manifesto became, which was like, you know, like artists coming together, the industry, like up and coming artists and doing their thing. That's where we met, like, you know, Astrological and this whole crew and whatnot. Because at that time we were, you know, with like Poor Man Militia and what we weren't even called Poor Man Militia at the time. We were called Armada. You know what I mean? Then it got involved into.
I gotta see this. And what? And yo, he can spit.
Oh my God! What? Yo, he was one of the deadliest ones, like out of all of them.
Yo, I gotta see some footage, man.
Yo,
no wonder he's heavy in music, involved in music right now.
Sure.
You know, I thought, you know, it's not about photography. Music is his passion.
No, music is the passion. That's the source.
That's for a lot of people. All of us came from music first before we went to multimedia.
That's it.
Right, so I think you need multimedia to elevate your game nowadays, right?
It's true, no doubt. But I think Astro was one of the greatest Canadian rappers to ever be, and I wish way more people heard how great he was. But I deeply believe in that. The Embassy was one of the greatest crews for sure. Yes. Oh my God. But yeah, I could go on forever. And I just want to big up Colleen while we're doing a little shout out.
Yes, big up.
Colleen getting the Ernie Panicoli book. Keeping it good. Shout out our peoples. And we're Amol, man. I can't thank you enough, man. We just have to take this trip down memory lane on this Reminisce show, man.
Sure. Listen, I feel like we can still do a part 3 now.
Oh man, no.
Man. We keep it going, man. We keep it going, yo. That's what's up.
I'm down for
it doesn't have to be another week. It could be like 2 weeks from now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. We got you, man.
You know?
I have this female DJ, this lady DJ who was at the Biggie Smalls show at Young and Gerard. She's gonna talk next week. My homegirl.
Nice.
So yeah, next week we're booked. But in a couple of weeks, dude, man, we'd love to take it, because I didn't even ask you anything about ladies and stuff like that professionally.
Gotta get in there, man. Yes.
I know. Yes, Jamal King. Like, obviously, there's a lot of stuff we haven't really got into.
Yes, and then maybe we could.
And obviously, even like, I just remember, like, I know we originally want to talk about concerts and all the shows that we've been at, and there's like, you know, even
there's a lot, man.
There's so many, and yeah, man, this is really good because we're always giving each other jewels. Like, you gave me a couple memories that I'm like, oh shit, man, I didn't know that. So it's probably good that we just keep going every once in a while. We'll bring them all here.
So we'll keep it going for next time, man. But you know what I mean? We just, you know, keep it going as we reminisce, man.
Sounds good, guys.
Thanks so much, Amol, man. Enough love and respect, man.
All love, family.
Stay up, fam.
I see that T.O. shirt, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, we have to,
classic. I still got to get the hoodie.
I got you, man. I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Yes,
all
sir.
right, guys. Peace.
All right, man. Peace.
Respect.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah, man. That was really dope.
That's it, man. Yo, man. So that concludes, man, our show, man. Yo, reminisce, man, because we connect past, present, and future. So our history doesn't get lost, you know, because it's so easy to get lost in the sauce. And you know what I mean? It's always good to remember where we came from so we know where we're going. You know what I'm saying? So big up to Amol, man, Mr. Standout.
My brother, I quickly wanted to do one last thing to just give the people a little something to know.
Yeah.
Something to know. I started up a little mini podcast. That I'll be putting out on. Yes. Yeah. I call it Love Time, and I'm just talking about love, thoughts, ideas, memories, and energy. And I just want to reflect on what I know about hip hop culture, because like I know so many things that have really come from my own particular perspective and experience. So I'm just going to put it on a strictly audio podcast and select a few little songs. it's a little half an hour thing, you know, not too long. It's not a Joe Rogan podcast, 3 hours.
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to that. Maybe I can get a feature on that, and you know what I'm saying, and like continue the conversation. But it's cool that you mentioned that too, man, because I'm working on another podcast of my own that's going to be audio as well. But I'll reveal that in the weeks to come and whatnot. But definitely big up to you on the release of your podcast and you know, just creating more platforms for us to discuss, you know, the things that are important to us, you know, because like we're like a pool of knowledge, a pool of wisdom, and connected, you know, to communities. So you know, we just keep those conversations moving forward, man. So big up to you. What's the name of the podcast again?
It's called Love Time, and it's on Anchor. It's on Anchor.fm. It's also on my Facebook. It's a link there. I don't know how I can. I have a link to it here, but I don't know how I can. Colleen, I wish I could send it to you. Can we comment in the?
If you're on Anchor, you should be able to transfer that onto like Spotify and other platforms. So it should be able to put you on there. So and if you support that, man, I got you, man. Don't worry about that, man. We're gonna get you on all the platforms, making sure everything is accessible. Make sure your thoughts and your voice is out there because it's all important stuff. So that's what it is. Yes, man. Talk in Toronto all day, man. Big up, man. Chill.
Yes. Chill.
Legit, man. Salute.
Respect, family. All right. Man. Until next Tuesday. Yo, we have Karen Augustine hopefully coming through. We're booking her, and she's booked, but we just gotta, you know, just make sure technology.
All right, man. So peace, y'all. Respect for coming through. Appreciate all love, man. We are out of here, man. Till next week, man. Jeez.